Hello and welcome, viewers, to my channel. This channel is a commentary channel. It tends to be my opinions. Sometimes I will do a video that has been backed up by a lot of research, and when I do those videos, they're educational videos, and they tend to be when I'm talking about mental health or addiction. Sometimes I will do a video where I share my life story with you and what's happened to me. Now, for those of you who don't know, and for those of you who do know, I claim to be a psychic medium, and I also have claimed to have witnessed many UFOs or UAPs or whatever you want to call them, because they're no longer flying objects. They now go into the sea. And I was watching a documentary that was made last year on Tubi. I'll tell you the name of it, and I want to discuss something about what it said. Now, alright, I'll give you the title, and again, I'm going to apologize for the lighting. It's the wrong time of day to be making a video and the glare in my glasses. It's just after 1 p.m. The title of this documentary is called The UFO Movie They Don't Want You to See, and it's got Brian Dunning, Hal Bidlack, Jason Bush, and Josh Carter. Now, I do believe in UFOs. These guys were trying to talk about intelligent life and admitted that there are possibility of lots of intelligent life out of there. Where they've missed the point of the UFOs is they believe that we are saying ETs come from outer space. And I'm going to read from my book just notes that I've made. So, according to the theory of relativity, the faster you go, so the closer you get and beyond the speed of light, the denser you become. And they interviewed some astrophysicists and some astronomers, and because we live in a 3D physical universe, the law of physics is the same everywhere. So not only do we have time being a problem, we have distance. And they brought up a very good point. For things to be accepted as truth, they have to be verifiable. And pictures are not verifiable because all you're seeing is a picture, and apparently we are getting better and better at, making things look more and more convincing, and what looks like a UFO is someone either photoshopping or doing some, what is it called? CGI. And they showed us some quite convincing pictures of what looks like UFOs, but they had just made themselves by CGI. And so they say that pictures don't meet good evidence, and stories also are antidotal. So UFO researchers has to eliminate every other possibility. That's falsify everything till they get to the truth. And they talked about some famous UFO cases. They brought up Rendlesham Forest, and they played the original account. And originally, that lighthouse light, when it shone, was every 5 seconds. And when you heard the original account recorded, the light, when the colonel said, "Oh, there's the light again," you could hear it was every 5 seconds. They also went on to explain that UFOs that have been seen to be hung over missiles, well, the missiles can shut themselves down. And at the time of one of the famous ones where they shut the missiles down, there was actually a shortage in one of the electric power grids, and so they shut down for safety reasons. And they also talked about the school in Zimbabwe. Apparently, they said that we are led to believe that these children did the drawings by themselves, but apparently that's not the case. They did it in groups. And they also went on to show, the famous videos that have come out by the Navy, and you can see one where they're on a little dot underneath them, and they're watching this little white dot skip along the water. They actually proved by angles and trigonometry that it wasn't what people claimed it to be. And they're saying all this stuff. And yes, everything made sense. It all did make sense. If the law of physics applies here, Earth, the law of physics would apply to the outer space, the rectilinear system, where so-called aliens say they come from. So the other thing is they went on to say that with what's been developed, even with things that have been hidden from the public, all of the flying machines that America, especially, who's way ahead of any other country, has some sort of wings. And when because I report a UFO too, we report that it's got no sonic boom, my flying saucer had no wings, no way of propulsion. But I understand where they are coming from. If UFOs were traveling millions of light years to get here, but what they have forgot to think about, and they didn't even mention, was how Einstein said space can be warped. And if an advanced alien space adventurers had somehow managed to bend time and space and warped it into wormholes, maybe it would be possible for interstellar, intergalactic space travel. But as far as what we know, it is very true that the law of physics is the same here as it is in the Orion Belt, as it is wherever. Our universe is 3D. But I, myself, have never claimed that ETs necessarily came from outer space. Having said that, how can these scientists dismiss records going back thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years, of cave paintings of spaceships? But what are we really seeing? This has really puzzled me. For me, I think our space visitors are coming interdimensionally. But how would you explain what astronauts have seen on the moon? What would you explain when NASA, deletes all the little flying saucers and shapes that are around the Earth? So I ask you, please watch this movie. It's on Tubi. Tubi, you can download for free, and you can watch any movie for free. Not any movie, but you can watch movies for free. You can watch documentaries for free. And this documentary movie was made last year, 2023, called the UFO movie They Didn't Want You to See by Brian Dunning. And again, I think Brian Dunning is missing things like what happened then to Betty and Barney Hill, what happened to Travis Walton, what happened to me, what happened to all these other people. So are aliens and UFOs, what I believe interdimensional, even parallel universes, trying to trick us and say that they're coming through space to kind of lie to us, and really they are some malevolent being, maybe fallen angels? That's a whole different story. All I want you to do is watch the movie, the documentary I have mentioned. And regarding the jellyfish UAP, to me, again, it looks like it's a man on one of those jetpacks. But I noticed as I watch it, it goes over and there's dogs, and the dogs don't seem to notice it, and you'd think they would. It goes over people. The people don't seem to notice it. And this is supposed to be on thermal, and thermal picks up a heat source, and this jellyfish changes colour from whitish to darkish. So it's going from hot to cold. So I truthfully saw hundreds of UFOs descend at Lake Indoon. I and my husband, who's deceased, watched over the other side of the lake where no one can access what looked like at the start a little campfire, little glowing campfire, turned into a light, an orb, and then suddenly miles zoom straight over to the Indian Ocean. And there was no noise, there was no boom. I also want you to read this book. It's been around since the 70s and 80s. What is this thing called science? It's Chalmers, book by Chalmers. What is this thing called science? And again, in the documentary I watched, they said, are you sure that not on some other planet the law of physics isn't different? And they said, it doesn't matter. Wherever throughout the universe, the law of physics is the same. So in other words, the faster we go, the denser we get. So if I'm 50, which I'm not, I'm 63 kilos, and I'm going the speed of light, I can't do the trig, but I would be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilos. That doesn't make sense. All right, I've got a really, really sore throat. You can probably hear it sounds a bit scratchy and a bit of a cough. I haven't got COVID. I've tested negative so far. I won't be on for a while. I just wanted to get your guys' opinions on this documentary and your guys' opinions on the jellyfish. Apparently, there's missing film out there where the jellyfish goes into the water for 15 minutes before it shoots off at 45 degrees. But apparently, if you do watch the documentary, it talks about the nimics and the other two, about how simple trigonometry explains what they captured, and I won't spoil it for you. All right, but they haven't changed my mind, because I know what I experienced. And even Boxing Day 2023 at 8 o'clock, I saw a light, a white light. First I thought it was Venus. It was close to Venus, move from Venus in a northeasterly direction, half the sky, before disappearing. I watched it for about 10 minutes. All right, remember, cherish every moment. And yes, I believe in UFOs, and every life matters. And let me know, do you believe in UFOs? And if you believe in UFOs and you believe that they've come from another planet, can you get around what these guys are saying about the law of physics? Thank you guys for watching. Love yous. Bye.